Hello. I wanted to pop in here today to talk about how our children are mirrors of ourselves. And I've been wanting to dive into this topic for a while because it's come up along my journey and it's been a massive realization. And I've just had this profound connection and realization, like I said, about how our children are just these little precious mirrors, right? And as I've embarked on my own path and my own self discovery and reconnection with my values and my needs and my purpose and understanding who I am, I've uncovered some remarkable things. And one of them is our children. And our children are not just part of our lives, our children are actually mirrors to what's going on inside us. So, what I mean by that is, when something isn't quite right with our children, so when they're struggling, they're anxious, they're disconnected, they're stuck, or there's something like chronically happening a lot, and you're seeing this and you're noticing that something's not quite right, it often holds a profound message. Their state actually holds a profound message for us as their parents. So the message is about our own state of being because our children are constantly gauging their sense of safety and okayness in the world. Am I okay? Am I seen? Am I heard? Am I regulated? Is everything okay? Through the regulation, through like the lens of our nervous system. So they're gauging, are they okay in the world through us and the state that our nervous system is. Where this is how we connect. This is attachment. Kids attach to parents via the nervous system. Am I safe? Am I not? Are they okay? Are we okay? So when I'm stressed and when I'm overwhelmed and disconnected from my body and myself, as often a woman can be in the world with all the things that she needs to do and needs to get done, it can often be reflecting in my children's experiences. So it's as if their own sense of safety is tethered to the sense of safety and regulation that I'm feeling in my own body in that moment. So here's a fascinating part. When I'm in this state, my instinct would be to fix them. So I go into survival mode, fix it mode immediately, like thinking, what do they need? How can I help? And my attention would then go out to them, right? But doing this reaction only led to more of me disregarding myself and really leading me further away from myself as I got entangled in their struggles. So it became this cycle of like, they're not okay because essentially I wasn't okay. So then I freaked out. I'm trying to tend to their needs. I'm then overwhelmed, I'm then exhausted, I'm then stressed, and we're just in this cycle of I'm not safe, they're not safe, I'm not safe. So, what I've learned here is when something is off for my children, I've learned I need to pause, I need to stop, I need to reflect. Is it something in their outer world that's setting them off? Or is it something in their inner world within the house? Is it me? I get curious about my own energy. Am I burnt out right now? Am I stressed? Am I anxious? Am I suppressing emotion? Do I not feel safe? Have I been trying to do it all again? Have I been, looking after myself? Have I been out of my body? So it's crucial for me to evaluate where I am in that moment. Um, and often I would find myself slipping into old survival habits. So when I wasn't reflecting, when I was just kind of putting myself out there and trying to fix the kids, I would start to feel overwhelmed and I would just get into this burnout stage. And that was my old pattern, is just to get burnt out all the time, to try and fix everything for everyone, feeling overwhelmed. Then I'd feel out of control. Then I couldn't be present. It was just like this cycle. But when I realized this pattern in myself, when I became really aware that I actually wasn't being present and I didn't feel safe to my children, I started to stop and pause. And when I see this come up, because I'm not perfect and I'm a human and I will fall back into survival mode because we're humans and that's what we do. I now know I stop, I pause. I know the thing. I have a long list of things that help me regulate, a long list of self-care practices. And I don't mean doing my nails and doing my hair, but things that help me really reflect and be mindful and regulate my nervous system. And And I come back to those practices and I start to create a sense of safety within myself. And sometimes, like, it's as simple as acknowledging, like, oh, I'm back in survival mode. I need to be present here. Like, what's gone on? What's happening? What is it that I need? And other times it takes more effort, like it's ongoing. I need to meditate. I need to seek support. I need to get help. I need to do breathing processes. We all have our unique processes, and that's part of it, right? But my point here is, as mothers, we tend to rush to our children's aid when something's wrong, right? When we think something's amiss, we think they're struggling, we think we need to fix them. So we're taking on even more burden. So we've already feeling dysregulated and stressed and like we've got the world on our shoulders. Something goes on with our kids and we're taking more of it on to make everything better. But more often than not, what really needs to happen is that we just need to kind of stop. And we just need to go back, go internal, and just do a little bit of self-inquiry first, because that can change the state of everything. But I think in our pursuit of the narrative that women can do it all and have it all and be it all, we've actually taken that narrative on. Like, we have to fix everyone and fix everything at the cost of actually looking at our own self-care and asking, what do we need in the moment? And we've depleted ourselves and we have caused ourselves to feel burnt out and stressed. And that comes from a lot of core root things. There's societal beliefs that this is just what women do. We're not worthy. If we, take on self-care or look after ourselves, it means that we're selfish, or we're lazy if we slow down, or if we rest or stop and take time for ourselves. That's saying something about ourselves. And those things often are a conflict to, how we've been accustomed to operate. But I think when we look at our children and we see it from the lens of they're actually a mirror of us, we can actually go, okay, actually it is in the benefit of not only us, but our children, that we actually stop and we actually say, okay, I need some time. I need to regulate myself. I need to rest. I need to hand something over to someone else. I need some support. Yeah. And when we start to take a load off our shoulders, when we start to really place self-care for ourselves up here and know that our family will only really thrive if we are, we can start to really change the narrative around self-care and our worthiness, because we are worthy. We are worthy of looking after ourselves. We are worthy of taking loads off our shoulders. We are worthy of slowing down. We are worthy of rest. And when we do all of those things, it's a mirror in our children. Our children mirror that back by their behavior. They feel calmer. They feel safe. They can focus. They're not worrying about why we feel so wired, and the state of us has something to do with them. So I just wanted to bring this here today because it's been such a profound learning, one that sometimes, I must admit, I forget, and then I have to catch myself and I really have to work on it, but it is worth the work and you are worth it. Thank you.